single presidential candidates to face William Ruto. That we are united. But we are not united in the nitty-gritties and the day-to-day operations of every political party. I went to Mbeere to help the Democratic Party, but they are in charge of their own operations. The DP leader, Justin Muturi, has told me they are going to court, and I wish them well. And it's important that they do.
Will you support him as it goes to
I don't need to support. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot help. But I think they should go to court because what happened in Mbeere is unacceptable. From my own view, the UDA candidate would not garner more than 5,000 votes. There was a lot of voter bribery. There was a lot of coercion of elderly women and men who are recipients of the cash transfer program. About 7,000 elderly people in Mbeere were intimidated by chiefs, by Nyumba Kumi, by elders that if they don't vote for UDA, their money will be discontinued. So they went to vote for that candidate under duress. And I want to tell our elderly, this cash transfer program is not a gift from William Ruto. It is money that is voted for by the National Assembly. It is appropriated. It is your right as elderly citizens to receive this money. And it does not depend on the goodwill of William Ruto for you to continue receiving this money. I want to tell them as we go to the general election, because the chiefs were called the other day and told of the success of Mbeere and Malava, how the chiefs and Nyumba Kumi intimidated elderly people who received the cash transfer program to vote for the UDA candidate, and they were told to replicate the same across the country. Let me ask our people to tell their mothers and their fathers that fund, that program, is not a gift by William Ruto to the elderly people. It is a government program. These are funds that are voted for and appropriated in the National Assembly. They are from public funds, and they don't have to vote for William Ruto or his candidates for them to continue receiving that. In fact, if I'm elected president, and I think I will, I intend to increase that fund from 2,000 to 5,000 because it's not enough. In fact, other than threatening these elderly people that if they don't vote for William Ruto, he will discontinue the program, what myself I'm telling them is that we must increase that fund from 2,000 to 5,000 to be able to help the old people. And it's their right. Even when they vote for me, it's not a favor. You know, it is their right as senior citizens in this country. And these are public funds. They are not from the president. They are not from his farm. They are not from his pocket. These are public funds. So our people should not be intimidated that if they don't vote for William Ruto in 2027, as the chiefs have been directed to go and threaten them. And I want to ask them to ignore those threats. And we'll be telling them the following 1 year, the whole of 2026, wherever you go, we'll be telling the elderly people, please, you must cast your vote where you want. You should not be intimidated by government that if you don't vote for William Ruto or UDA candidates, that this fund where you are given 2,000 shillings every month can be discontinued.
Now, so let's remain a little bit in Mbeere, and I want to look at a situation where, as we talk about the mountain, you have packaged yourself to be, one would say, the kingpin or the spokesperson of the mountain. And we look at the by-election and how much effort was put in the mountain, especially to win the Mbeere seat. But to look at the results of the by-election, and one would say, seems as if Gachagua does not have the hold of mountain, that the people have spoken otherwise, despite you coming out saying that you have mountain by your side, but results
I don't want to say I have the mountain. The people of the mountain listen to me, and what happened in Mbeere is not a yardstick. To start with, UDA did not win that seat. I can tell you for free. Yeah, that election was buggered. UDA spent over 800 million bribing people. Ministers were there, PSs, heads of parastatals, goons. Even those people who are saying that they won, that they defeated us. Yes, they defeated us in bribing people, in stealing public funds to bribe people. That they defeated us. And they beat us hands down because, one, we cannot steal public funds. We have no capacity. We have no capacity, and we are also not thieves. Number two, they beat us in sending goons to beat their own kinsmen. That one they beat us. As we have no capacity to mobilize goons to beat our people. We can't do that even if it's an election. I, Rigathi Gachagua, can never, mobilize goons to beat the people of Mbeere. These are my kinsmen. So what they beat us in is use of public funds to bribe people, voter suppression using goons and violence, where ministers were beating women. That's when they beat us, we agree. But on the actual vote, they lost. And I don't want to dwell too much on it. And I also want to tell those people, William Ruto doesn't understand the mountain. And these young boys who hang around him are juveniles. They don't understand the mountain. If they took time to study the history of Mbeere, they will not be all over yapping and celebrating. Mbeere North is a constituency that was called Chicago. That constituency since 1992. On the presidential vote, they vote with the rest of the mountain. All other elections are a local affair because they have serious issues of clans and other local dynamics that are very unique to them. In the year 2002, Chicago, then Mbeere North, today, voted for Mwai Kibaki and a knock 98%. Nobody wanted to hear about Moi and Kanu. Yet the people of Mbeere North, Chicago as it was called then, went ahead to elect Justin Muturi and Kanu in 2002. The following election in 2007, they voted for Mwai Kibaki 97% and a PNU. They rejected JB Muturi with PNU and elected Lenny Kevuti and Asafina. In 2013, the people of Mbeere North, like the rest of the mountain, they voted for Uhuru Kenyatta and a TNA, went ahead to elect Gachagua and Abbas. That's how dynamic it is. All those people in Mbeere, including those who voted for the UDA candidate, are one-term people. In matters presidential, the people of Mbeere North and Mbeere South, they vote with the rest of the mountain. That's why I'm not even bothered myself. It's not even an issue. It's not, as far as I'm concerned, it's not even an issue because I understand the dynamics of those two constituencies and the way they are voting is all the time. But I want to tell you from what happened, UDA can celebrate. It's a forced celebration, even themselves. Even Ruto himself, he knows. If you spread 800 million for 15,000 votes, yeah, a vote is worth almost 60,000. I mean, what are you saying? What are you telling people?
I mean, in that election...
And the opposition did not have money to spend. They have stolen money from nobody. They have no access to public funds. They were just selling policies. They were just selling their candidate. When you spend 800 million in a constituency, that's why I want to tell these UDA fellows, they are celebrating nothing. During the general election, they were their own.